brought to you by IWCRadio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Beans, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the IWC Radio Podcast. Smoot here, along with Chucks and Will. Beans still on assignment. How you guys doing? Welcome. Welcome. Oh, I got one too. Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it.
Pretty good. That's how we're going to kick things off.
Yeah,
Just
quite early.
with
Straight away.
stereo audio whoop ass. Is that it?
Two cans.
Two cans, huh? Alrighty.
Get left out now.
Yeah, you should know by now. You got to prepare.
Yeah.
This is like our thing for like however many shows we've done that have some sort of carbonated beverage at the start.
Yeah.
So you should know by now.
I've got a carbonated beverage, but I've gone old school and put it in a glass.
Oh,
classy.
Nice.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah. That reminds me, you had on your Snapchat like the dancing turkey a while back. That was on your stove. Yeah. Which I didn't even know was a thing you could do on Snapchat. Have like animated.
No, I found out the same time we did.
Okay. All right. Here we are again. Not much has happened in the world of wrestling. We got Raw 25 that we're gonna briefly talk about. We've also got Raw and SmackDown Live through the week as well. But I think our main story is the fact that Goldberg was announced shortly before this past Monday's Raw as the first inductee into the 2018 Hall of Fame this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a heck of a headliner, if you ask me, to possibly close out the Hall of Fame this year. So what are you guys' thoughts on that, if I may ask?
Yeah, seems like a decent enough option to me. I was expecting Undertaker. Well, at least last year, I thought this one would be Taker's year. He did his retirement, left all his clothes in the ring, then he's going to go into the thing. But it looks like he's going to be back, so why not Goldberg?
I think this answers our question if Undertaker is back or not. I think if he was being inducted this year, as you say, it would have been this year.
Yeah.
And now that he's seemingly not, because you'd think he'd be the headliner if he is.
Yeah.
Then I think he puts his clothes back on for WrestleMania.
He puts his clothes on for WrestleMania. That's one way of putting it. But yeah, no, I think Undertaker is going to be involved some way or another at WrestleMania, if not maybe even the Royal Rumble. Perhaps he might be one of the surprise entrants. Catch everybody off guard.
We still have a lot of spots to fill in the Rumble right now.
That is true. We'll get to that in a few moments, as well as possible surprises, and I guess. But yeah, no, Goldberg definitely. I think it's long overdue, honestly. And the way that he went out, I think is probably a sign of him just calling it a career. And I think what better way to end it than by going into the Hall of Fame, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right. That's likely to be it. But there's also really no reason to say that it has to be. He looked great. I know he doesn't like training that hard to be Goldberg. He's always our big guy, but there's a difference between being a big guy and being Goldberg. And at his age, it's a struggle. So I know he doesn't like doing that for long periods of time. But a one-off here and there, no reason why not. He still looked good.
Could he be somebody to expect in the Rumble?
No, I very, very much doubt that.
Yeah, I would doubt that too.
I agree with you that he probably could do some more if he wanted to, but I think the way it ended, where he was last, it was only last year, wasn't it? I think it was quite a good send off for him, and this will be a nice way of tying it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it was left how it was left when he left last time. If that makes sense. I think that wouldn't have been good. But I think he's laid that up now. So.
You think he doesn't want to come back one too many times? And yeah, could be right. But I mean, there's no injury there saying that he can't do it. There's no bad blood between him and Vince anymore, I guess, saying that he can't. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, you're probably right. That's likely the last we'll see of him in any kind of extended role. And yeah, I think he's as deserving as anyone. These main event, there's one big name every year. These kind of main event headline inductees. We've got Goldberg, Rock, and then I'm kind of stuck then. Who else is there? Goldberg, Rock, Undertaker, and then who else is there? I think those are the big three right now that aren't already in.
Yeah.
Kane?
I mean, Kane's still competing, but he could definitely be.
I don't know that he's big enough to be.
I don't know if
I
would say
the guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he would be like a headliner for it. You
could argue Triple H, but then if he's taken over in the company, I don't know that he's going to want to do the same way Vince doesn't want to go in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know. You have to.
That's a good point. Actually, I'm sitting here racking my brain. I'm trying to think of other like big name people that possibly go into the Hall of Fame, and I'm stumped.
Savage is in there, Piper's in there, Warrior's in there. Andre obviously is number one. Where'd you go? You'd have to look at the kind of current or just past generation. Maybe it's too early for Cena, isn't it? I don't know. But for now, yeah, Goldberg, I think he's, as I say, one of the biggest names not already in there. So, good move.
Definitely. Again, not much news to talk about this week. Did you guys watch Raw this past Monday?
Yeah, I actually watched both shows this week.
Hey, all right. Anything you want to pull apart from either program and talk about?
I can't remember a thing that happened. Strowman's Rampage. He's not going to stop till everyone gets these hands.
Oh yeah, that was Which that lasted for about like a good 90 minutes, and then the show kind of like nosedived. I feel.
He almost killed Cole. Someone stopped him.
Yeah, what was Cole wearing for shoes, by the way? I'm gonna try to find a picture of that, but those are some ridiculously looking shoes they had on.
I didn't notice the shoes.
All right. Well, we've got to pull this up here then.
I'll have to get the live stream up.
Very light shade brown, if I remember. Yeah, they were a bit straight.
Let's see. Raw pre-show to kick off monumental 25th anniversary special.
Yes, they're doing the pre-show again.
Oh God.
That's not one of Raw's highlights for me. That's not a Raw moment that I want to relive.
Maybe that's what they meant by a 5-hour program, is that they're gonna do a pre-show, post-show.
Probably.
Yeah.
Great. So Cole, he ended up grabbing. There's so much Strowman that we need to talk about before the Cole bit, but he grabbed Cole, who stumbled on his attempted escape.
Did you not notice Booker T push him over?
Yeah. What was up with that? That was great.
It's so great.
I thought they were going to reference that later on, but they didn't mention it.
So, like, Strowman had Cole. Kurt Angle said, you don't need to do this, blah, blah, blah. Strowman put Cole down. Cole very slowly, despite not having been hit at all, really slowly crawls in the same direction that Braun Strowman was leaving. It made no attempt to escape from this guy.
Yeah.
Tried to crawl backstage as Strowman was going backstage, and then ended up getting beeled into a dozen security guards.
Yeah.
It's a very safe-looking bump.
It really was. It was.
Which I guess is a good thing, but I was kind of hoping for a bit more carnage.
Pretty sure I heard one of them shout, "Don't worry, we got you."
Well, I gotta cut to WWE's page here. They actually have a poll up, believe it or not. And they're asking, is today Rusev Day?
Yeah. Every day is Rusev Day.
70%.
That's the whole gimmick.
70% said yes, 30% said no. Just like to point that out. I'm trying to get this video up, but it keeps going to like different parts. It's like I click on it and it's like, here's Seth Rollins and this match here. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all. So I'm trying to get to that part. But yeah, no, Booker T, if we can get to the video loaded at all here. He shoved Cole over, and then Strowman tosses Cole into like a fleet of security guards and whatnot. That was ringside. Yeah, before that though, like Kurt Angle at the top of the program like fired him.
Right, so Strowman comes out and says, I have a story to tell you.
Yeah.
Story time with Braun. Yeah. Kurt fires him, which I guess is understandable. Strowman isn't too happy about it. I guess he has no, plan B option. He hasn't invested in real estate or strip malls or anything. He needs this job. He's got kids. Yeah. And then he decides that everyone needs to get these hands and starts throwing dudes around backstage into the shutters that everyone always has to get thrown into the shutters because they make a loud noise.
Yeah.
Don't forget, strategically placed random steel pipes.
Yeah. One of the guys got thrown like a mile over into some into some boxes or something, and then another guy got thrown the other way through a table, which looked great. Both of those looked awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were both super safe as well. Credit again. But the whole thing, why did Steph unfire him? What's that about?
And the production truck was $12 million.
What was the point? Oh, that's the most annoying bit. I love Kurt so much, but he is the worst actor I've ever seen. Oh God, the production trucks. Those are worth $12 million. So bad.
And he actually did nothing to the production truck. They throw some paper around.
Well, he tipped over one of the front bit.
The front bit, yeah.
And there had to be a good 30 camera cuts, right?
Oh yeah.
The camera turned more times than Big Show.
Hey. Yeah, because it was like angle at that like quick at that quick pace. Like it was, they had a camera on like
Kurt's family reunion.
Yeah, they had like a camera on the hood of the actual big rig.
Yeah, right on the top.
What was that about? Why was that there?
Right. It's the same as the one that was behind the ambulance that time, conveniently to be smashed. Someone had posted on Twitter like just a one camera angle of him tipping the truck over. It's 1,000 times better. You can kind of see that it's hokey, like you hear the thing pulling it and whatever, but it still looks better.
So let me pull this here. Let me pull this up real quick here. I'm not going to enable the audio here, but that's a great still shot of Cole being pulled away. Look at his shoes. What are those? Obviously once it catches up on stream here, I'm gonna play a little bit here. Should be fine.
Brown shoes.
Like the other thing I want to make a note is how long the headset cord is here. Like he's breaking it with his foot.
Yeah, it seems to get caught up there.
Yeah, his shoes there or something.
Oh
else.
yeah.
So
Is something stuck on his foot there?
yeah, that's his headset.
That was actually the headset. So he pulled the wire off of it, and the actual headphones were stuck around his ankle.
Yeah.
Those shoes don't look that crazy to me.
They're
very light.
They look like
I think I would have gone for a
moccasins.
black shoe myself, but yeah.
Yeah. Not
Not a big fan of his mocha socks.
Yeah. Oh god. I agree. Yeah.
But at least the shoes are the same color as his belt. You know, that would have been a faux pas.
Oh, it would have been. It
Yeah.
absolutely would have been.
Unforgivable.
So yeah, basically Strowman just like for the first half of the show just wrecks everything, and then Stephanie rehires him because he's gonna beat up Kevin Dunn in the truck and tips the semi over, and then he's rehired. And I guess
He goes into the production truck, which costs $12 million,
yeah,
and then asks everyone, "What does this do? What does this do? What does this do? What happens if I smash this?" And then he just leaves.
Yeah.
He didn't smash
And then he
anything.
walks
Couldn't they
to
have
the
put
door.
some an old broken something there for him to smash?
Right.
Yeah, he could have done.
Also, how did he unhook the semi from the trailer? Like,
I don't know how is that done?
Yeah, did somebody leave the keys in the actual truck itself? Like,
I guess so.
or did he just hotwire it?
Yeah, don't they? Doesn't from all the TV I've ever watched, everyone in America leaves the keys in the sun visor, right?
Oh.
You just pull that thing down, the keys drop out. Isn't that what you guys do?
I mean, I would keep the keys in my pocket, honestly, rather than just leave them in the car.
How European. That's what I do.
Yeah. And let's see what else. It was very hard to stay focused because after the Strowman stuff, it was just like blah.
Yeah.
What happened with the main event?
With
last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
Yeah, it at the moment it kind of seemed like they forgot what they were doing.
Are you talking about at the very tail end where they?
At the very end, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was
really weird.
It was like Balor was just dazed and confused, and they were just panning up close shots to him.
And then there was
right at the end after the replays and that, and it just stayed on him for about a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Something must have gone because there was just before that there was the bit with the ref nearly counting 4.
Yeah, Corey saw it as a 5 count or something like that, but when they showed the replay, I think he goes to check the shoulders or saw that a shoulder was up and he restarted the count, and I think is what happened.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look at this video, see if they bring that up. But yeah, I don't. That match was really weird, and it went on forever, too. It was beyond the overrun.
Well, I thought because I didn't watch it live, but I was kind of thinking that maybe they were trying to make time up because it just seemed like after the match, just a little bit after that, seemed to go on forever.
Yeah.
Just long shot of Finn Balor looking crazy.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was that they had longer than they thought they had, so they kind of finished, and then there was extra time, and they just had nothing. But if you're saying overran the overrun, then
yeah, it was a good 10 minutes beyond the overrun.
Really, that much?
Yeah.
God, as if Raw isn't long enough.
You wait till Monday. Nothing yet.
God.
What else happened on the show?
We had Titus Worldwide with another shock victory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just did that again.
Yeah, what's up with that? They beat Sheamus, I believe, in the bar.
It,
Mm-hmm.
And Sheamus had that surprised look on his face.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked stupid. I kind of like. I don't get what they're doing, but I like that they've done it again. I think we were all expecting that the bar would just get the win back. That's what always happens. That's what would have made sense. But no, they've done it again. Now, Titus Worldwide means, well, still nothing, but maybe a little more than the nothing they meant before.
Well, that's fair, yeah.
Apparently, they've now both been announced for the Rumble too. So that's
Titus
exciting,
and,
isn't it? Titus and Apollo, they're both in there.
Dana Brooke is going to be in the women's Rumble.
Yep,
as well.
and Alicia Fox also is
yes.
newly announced. And
much point in the women announcing that they're going to be in the match. Surely we've established now it's going to be all the women.
Well, right now we are up to all of the women on the roster who aren't currently champions. And we're still, I think it's 18, 19 right now.
Really?
18 is announced. So we've got everyone, and we still need 12 more. But there are loads of, I don't want to say old. I don't want to say old divas because that's horrible. Former divas. Well, I suppose they're still current. I mean, no one's ever a former, right? They come back. They're still divas. Alumni. I don't know. I don't know what you'd say.
Anymore, the superstars.
Yeah, they're all women superstars. But there's loads coming back for Raw 25 on Monday. So who knows? Maybe some of those may end up in there. Paige is out officially, and so is Samoa Joe from his. We've got two casualties.
Rumble.
I said from his Rumble, the other one.
Yeah, it's a shame that because it seemed like he was possibly going some sort of feud with Cena.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not going to happen now. But then again, I think Cena might have other plans.
Well, he does. Apparently, so is the story. It was never going to be a long, it's never going to be the WrestleMania thing. It was going to be something that they did, presumably because Undertaker can't work TV. This is kind of to give Cena something to do, and it was going to be for house shows.
Do you think this Take a Cena thing happens on Monday, or starts on Monday, I should say?
I imagine so.
They're both in the same building.
I think there's definitely going to be some sort of acknowledgement of it, yeah. For sure. If they're going to pull the trigger on it, they might as well do it on the Raw 25 show.
Agreed.
I think they have to. I can't see anything else but what they can do either of them right now.
Do you think Undertaker comes back as Dead Man Undertaker, or is he going to be the biker again?
I'd like to see the biker again one more time.
I kind of would too.
Probably the Dead Man.
Yeah, I think they probably will go. That's the big attraction, isn't it? Oh.
Double phone noise there.
Yeah, I think your phone's in agreement.
Yeah, because the Dead Man take is the big sort of attraction in it with the big long entrance and all that.
Yeah,
it's true.
Would like
more
to see
WrestleMania with
biker one more time, especially if it's probably come up to the end of his career, But I can't.
Kind of would have made more sense to do the My Yard feud with Roman Reigns as the biker.
Yeah,
that's what the biker guy used to say. Dead Man doesn't say his yard. He said his graveyard.
All right.
So, they never did that.
He did leave his hat and his coat in the ring, so maybe.
He did.
Oh, also from the Seth Rollins Finn Balor match, forgot to mention this. Rollins brought back the curb stomp.
He did.
Yeah, the blackout,
Ah.
which is funny because he used to be called Tyler Black.
It's true.
Yeah.
Very true. Um, any thoughts on that? Just you glad to see it, I suppose.
Yeah, glad to see it.
Yeah.
Better than whatever that knee is, and better than the pedigree. It's a cool looking move, and I know it's dangerous when other people do it, but I don't see why, as professional wrestlers, it has to be a dangerous move. Surely you can just not fall on your face. You can not stamp on the guy's head. Like,
Yeah. I get you.
yeah, well, I never really understood that one. I always assumed it was because if anyone was to imitate it, then it could be horrendous. But apparently they don't mind that anymore.
No, they're just like whatever.
Weird.
You have your finisher back.
Yeah.
I like the name better as well. Didn't like the curb stomp. Blackout sounds cool.
Oh, it's better than the peace of mind as well. That's what we used to call it.
Oh God. Ed's in the chat asking why is trying to get Hogan for a Raw anniversary special a big deal? I mean, it's because he's like the guy that built WWE several years back, and
Several decades back.
yeah, and surprise, he turned out to be a racist. So
Yeah. Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised that they're not letting him on the show?
because he's a racist.
Because he's a massive racist.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, at least they didn't have him back on Martin Luther King Day.
Oh
They
God.
had him last week. That would have been.
God.
Why is it a big deal? I guess because Hogan's a big deal. You know, whether we like it or not, he is.
Yeah.
You know, as historic figures go in wrestling, he's in pop culture. I mean, he's a huge deal. He's not a huge deal when it comes to the history of Raw.
I was just going to say that, yeah. Ed said the same thing. When I think Raw, I don't think Hogan.
Yeah, considering
No.
like when Raw came on the air back in like '93, Hogan was probably not with the company.
Yeah.
I think he was with WCW around that time.
Yeah.
So
To be honest,
So
I'm
there
more
is
interested in the Rock's involvement, or lack of involvement as it seems to be. Because
yeah,
he's more Raw than Hogan to me.
yeah,
he's a lot more. And hopefully that's just being kept
Yeah.
very well, very well kept secret. But yeah, that would be a shame if he doesn't show up. But you know who is showing up and is also nothing to do with Raw is the Boogeyman.
yeah. Booker was freaking out when Cole mentioned that.
Yeah, and again, he was a SmackDown guy, an ECW guy for a little while, and other than I don't know, maybe he showed up at like Raw 1000 or whatever, but he's not a Raw guy either.
There's quite a few. They've even announced that some SmackDown people are going to be there.
Like John Cena.
Well,
He's a free agent.
Free agent John Cena, yeah.
AJ Styles is going to be there. Usos, New Day.
Oh god, not Jimmy Fallon. Ed's saying Jimmy Fallon's going to be.
Yeah.
No, fuck Jimmy Fallon. Fuck Jimmy Fallon.
They did a segment on the show with the New Day and Triple H and Stephanie doing the lip sync battle under the premise that if he lost, he'd have to turn up on Raw. And yeah, he lost. So
Shocker.
yeah.
Shocker.
It would have been great if he just won and then, you're not showing up then.
Guy loses his own
Sorry,
his
Jim.
own talk show. Shocker.
Yeah.
The Revival came back and had like a match against some local competitors as they
And they were shooting.
mentioned
shooting
on
hard.
On the YouTube, and yeah, they were saying that they were wrestlers, not sports entertainers, and it seems like they're building up to Revival versus like past superstars on Raw 25 this upcoming Monday.
I really hope that they don't make them. Was it the Ascension they did
Yeah.
that with?
Yeah.
And then everyone just beat them. Like
Yeah,
all
'cause-
the old guys just beat them up.
Because I think the Ascension was mentioning that they're better than the APA and all this other stuff.
The
And like
APA,
the APA kicked their asses, and they were never able to, regroup or get solid grounding from there on out.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope they don't do that again. That would be a bad move.
One guy we haven't mentioned who's going to be on Raw on Monday is the New Japan's latest star, Chris Jericho. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sure, I've heard of that guy. Just
Oh,
didn't pass.
he's the guy with the shaggy gray hair, right?
That's the one.
He debuted recently at
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Bright future ahead of this guy.
Definitely. But yeah, interesting that he's actually going to be on Raw after being involved with that.
Well, I think the Wrestle Kingdom appearance was like a one-off to have like a.
Apparently not. He's
Yeah,
coming
I
back.
don't
Really, he's
Doing
gonna.
one.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be in New Japan doing
Well,
this.
I mean, who knows for how long it's gonna
Huh.
be? But yeah, he's doing something else.
Cool. All right. Well then,
Yeah.
best of luck over there. Yeah. I mean, it's a 25th monumental anniversary. Might as well show up for it.
Yeah. And will we have? And I'm pretty sure we will. A segment where a load of the legends beat up Heath Slater. Not Heath Slater, the other guy, Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's going to be the guy. It was Heath Slater at Raw 100, wasn't it? That Lita beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see him taking a stunner or two.
Raw 1000. Not Raw 1000.
Raw 1000.
Yeah.
100. Yeah. In early 95.
God.
A very young Heath Slater.
Will we get Cake Guy at Raw 25? Ah. The Cake Guy, the backstage dude that was just holding that chocolate cake as
Oh, that guy that
Yeah.
wants Roman ate some cake.
that was awesome.
Which comedy reference will they make? Because we had, the adult hand, Mark Henry's hand son, show up.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do Gobbledygooker again, because that's too easy. They always do that one. What's there going to be as a reference from, 10, 15 years ago that we're all going to go, yeah, I remember that. That's funny.
Trying to think now.
Yeah. Someone in a
Bob Barker return? No, probably
Bob
not.
Barker.
They kind of did it last time. It was Jericho Stephanie interaction, maybe.
Yeah, they were kind of friendly for a little while. They pretending all of that didn't happen. They could do that. I just can't think of any other iconic. Maybe Austin. No, because Austin can't drive a beer truck. GTV. Oh, GTV's a good one. I think. Yeah, it could well be GTV.
What about Angle on the mud truck?
Yeah, oh, man, that was my all-time favorite segment. I think that was. The $1 billion princess was become a Dairy Queen.
I'm a Dairy Queen. Yeah.
Milk and cookies, what a combination. He's breaking out the heavy stuff. It's so much. It's just awesome.
Speaking of Kurt Hawkins, no, it was Heath Slater that faced Matt Hardy this week. That's right.
We're both doing it now. Kurt Hawkins, Heath Slater getting mixed up. Can't get our jobbers straight.
Which, by the way, that match started during the commercial break, so that gives you how much faith into the Woken gimmick, which Bray Wyatt hasn't been seen for like a couple of weeks now. So I mean, could they be already putting the kibosh on this feud before it's even like getting to go anywhere? You think?
No, they'll do it. I think they'll follow through with it.
Okay.
I don't know that Matt's going to be the main eventer that he was in TNA, but I think they're slowly getting around to doing whatever it is they're going to do. They've given him an entrance now, which is actually pretty good. I like the music.
Yeah, it was quite cool. Although it was I forgot to mention it last week when they had the music, but still did the Hardy Boys
Yeah, that was all
video.
At least they've changed that now.
Yeah.
That didn't work at all.
And I'm not a big fan of the well, he just laughs now. That's all it is. We've talked about this before. That there's no broken universe. Nothing outside the arena.
That's got to be Vince. Vince thinks that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just keep doing that. Keep doing the laugh. It's really funny.
Yeah. I think Matt on Twitter, I'm going to try and look it up now. He did say that there would eventually be more of the rest of the family. There'll be deletion. Oh my god, this guy tweets a lot. Yeah. Yes. I was undoubtedly unwell with tempestuous spot monkey addiction at this moment in time.
God.
Yeah. But he's basically said that Maxwell and Vanguard 1 and Senor Benjamin and all the rest of them should be showing up sooner or later.
He needs them. He definitely needs them.
Here we go. On January 16th, the incomparable Senor Benjamin is currently optimizing the green beans within the greenhouse garden at the Hardy compound. Trust me, Woken Warriors, Senor Benjamin, Cream Rebecca, King Maxwell, Lord Wolfgang, and Vanguard 1 will be appearing imminently. Stupendous.
All right.
Which is good. That is a good thing.
Yeah, and Jeff is going to be back on Raw.
Yeah.
Advance it a bit, hopefully.
Will he say, Brother Nero, I knew you'd come? Because if he doesn't, he's wasting everyone's time.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It says new Raw running gag every time someone destroys something in ring or backstage. Kurt Angle tries to stop it while saying that's the item. Yeah.
No, the announce table that costs $20. Speaking of announce tables, have you seen the Nintendo Switch's new gimmick? Everything made out of cardboard.
Yeah, the Nintendo labia, right?
Yeah, right. I'm glad you thought that too.
What now? Sorry?
It's called like the Labo or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Labo? Yeah.
I'm not seeing this. You're going to fill me in.
Oh, basically they're giving away what look to be like mini games. I don't know if it's full things or whatever, but they're giving away, selling these games with like a sheet of cardboard, which you can pop things out of, kind of like a model set, and then it folds up into peripherals that you stick your Switch remotes and screen into, and you use them as fishing rods and that kind of thing. Looks kind of cool, if not flimsy.
Seems really dumb.
Different.
If you ask me. And it looks like they go for about $80.
Is that right? 80?
80,
Really?
yeah. The one article
Okay.
I'm looking at right now is like saying it's $80 worth. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not worth it.
Well, anyway, announce tables. They
Yeah.
probably cost $8 and made out of cardboard.
There you go. There's the connection. That's I think that's everything from Raw. That's a good look over from what I can see. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So is there any news on Paige or not? Because she's acting like everything's fine.
Yeah. Right. Like they
Still wearing her gear, still out there as if
they
nothing's
said
happened.
that she has a neck injury. She won't be able to compete at the Rumble, but that's about it. So I don't know. And they even did a backstage Raw Fallout video where I think she even just says that as well.
Right.
So she's not going to be in the Rumble. Yeah, I don't know if it is a career-ending injury, you'd think they would kind of not slowly pull the Band-Aid off. You know, they would just come out and just say, "Hey, you're done. That's it."
Well, I think that's what they have said, or at least to her, but not on TV. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And on a slightly related note, apparently Del Rio, Alberto El Patron, has said, "I apologize to Triple H for the issues we were in when I was with the relationship with my ex-partner." Wow, is this really broken English? She and her entire family made me believe that those who affected our relationship were them, specifically him. Of course, I would go back to WWE. I would not go back full time, but I would make a special appearance before I put on my wrestling boots, and it will surely happen. Surely before I retire, I will do something special with them. It's a difficult 2018, but in 2019, before leaving, I'm definitely going to do something with them. We shook hands, and everything is fine right now. Time heals wounds. Del Rio thinks that he's coming back.
Yeah, same with Hulk Hogan. Thinks he's coming back for Raw 25. I mean, what he says and what actually happens are two different things, and I think, I mean, time does heal all wounds. I do believe in that, but I think it may be a little bit too soon right now for maybe a Del Rio comeback.
Isn't he about to challenge for the TNA title?
Is he still in TNA?
I thought the plan was for him to challenge Austin Aries. Well, that was what they're building up right now.
Maybe.
So I don't know.
I don't know. Also, Nia Jax with that wicked leg injury, and then Enzo checking up on her at the in the locker room afterwards. That was the thing that happened.
That kind of non-finish to that
Yeah.
that Asuka match.
Yeah, Asuka's still undefeated.
Yep, still undefeated. I like having a referee stoppage every so often.
Yeah,
Keeps things real.
Let's shift over
Have
to
anyone seen any possible news on Daniel Bryan?
what news?
There's been a crazy turn of events in the odds for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
He's now the third favourite to win.
Really?
Yeah, his odds got slashed this week.
Yeah. And Forbes are basically reporting that and saying it looks possibility that he's been cleared quite recently. But obviously they're not saying anything.
Well, and we know that he has said, I mean, he's not making any secret of the fact that he wants to wrestle, and when his contract comes up in October, one way or another, he is wrestling again. So this could be WWE saying, well, I mean, what are we going to do? You're better off wrestling here where we can look after you than going out there and who knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely remarkable that they would clear him now, like what, 2 years after the fact that we kind of, you said you're done to him, and then they made him do that big speech and such. Oh man, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that they're going to clear him, even for like a one-off.
Me too.
I do agree that one way or another that he's going to be wrestling again when his contract is up, and I don't know if WWE can sweeten the deal to keep him around as like a figurehead for TV and such.
No, I don't. He again, like he's not pretending that this is what he wants to be doing.
Right.
He said the whole time he's been the GM of SmackDown that he would prefer to be at home. You know, when he was talking smack, he used to say it every week, like, this is not really where I want to be right now, but it's, it's my job. What can I do?
There was another story that he's apparently turned down a contract extension.
So presumably that contract extension would be as a non-wrestler.
Yeah.
And he
So
said,
is this WWE then saying, okay, well, we've got you for what, 4 months? Let's use you.
well, nine-ish. It's in October. Apparently, it ends.
Oh, is it? Oh, I was thinking Mania.
No, would make sense. No, so they've got him for most of this year, but by the end, I mean, we could see him at Wrestle Kingdom next year,
Oof.
unless WWE says, "Okay, let's do this safely as possible. Let's give you a few matches and see how things go."
I don't know. I don't know if you could see him in the Rumble. It would be wild if he does.
Wouldn't it be perfect though? They've come back to Philadelphia.
It would.
After last time,
yeah,
they were in Philadelphia. They could have him and Reigns at the end. I mean, it would be about as good, because the other options right now, Nakamura, that would be cool too, but it's not going to be like a big thing. It's not going to be that memorable.
Yeah, I don't think. No, I don't think he can do it to Nakamura.
And I don't think they can have Reigns win either.
It shouldn't be Reigns, but it probably will be.
I can't.
Just looking at the odds there, you've got Nakamura 2-1 favorite.
Yeah.
Reigns 3-1. So if you're discounting those two, Daniel Bryan's the favorite.
Oh.
There you go. So I still think it'll be Nakamura, because I can't put money on them clearing Daniel Bryan. And if they do, then what does that mean for WrestleMania? If he wins, then he has 8. Oh, actually, AJ, that would be pretty cool. That would be great. And then, other than those three, what wouldn't get shit on? Rusev, I guess.
How about this? If they are going with the Bryan route, the Daniel Bryan route, what would be stopping WWE from putting the title on Strowman? Because you can't
Daniel Bryan and Strowman.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, he would probably go after AJ Styles, is all I'm saying. But like Lesnar has just been thrown to the wayside. I mean, that's another person that's contract is coming up at some point. I feel.
Oh, he's got Reigns.
Oh, God damn it! Right? Yeah. Yeah, I guess Reigns,
I know you don't want it. I don't want it
Reigns
either.
could just not win the Rumble and still challenge him to a title match.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
son
of a gun. Damn it.
Lesnar's going after Mania, apparently, anyway, isn't he?
He's what?
Lesnar's contract expires after Mania.
Yeah. He's got to resign though, hasn't he?
No.
I don't think he will.
No.
Really?
I think he's legitimately done everything in the company that he can do and beat up.
He looks bored. Last couple of times I've seen him, he just doesn't look interested anymore. Maybe that's part of the character. But
I don't know if it's. I think if Strowman wins the match, I think plans change from Lesnar and Reigns to Strowman and Reigns, and then you can just do that whole "I'm not done with you yet" or whatever. I'm not finished with you, and just reignite that again.
I don't see it. That'll come after.
I don't see it happening.
Reigns beats Lesnar, then they go back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that, but like that could be a wild offshoot from Bryan winning the Rumble. Is all I was trying to clear up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really think that Bryan is gonna be in there, but it would be awesome.
What if they do? Because I mean, being in the Rumble's not exactly intense in terms of
No.
So, what if they let him do it, and then they do some sort of angle where he wasn't cleared, and they go down that road? They usually in an angle.
And then it winds up being Bryan versus Shane.
Yeah.
I mean, I've grown at that, but they are it looks like they're building to that.
in some capacity.
Whether they'll have representatives or what, but it seems like that's where they're going.
They get full control, and then loser leaves town, which is basically WWE's way of letting Daniel Bryan go, I guess. Possibly, I don't know. On SmackDown, on the SmackDown side of hold on, Ed says, could you imagine Bryan goes into Rumble, is eliminated, and Roman wins again? Yes, I could. WWE is a petty company, and I could see them doing that a second time.
I thought that's where you were going. That they'd have Bryan in there, as you said, not very intense match. They can bump around a little bit, and, grapple and throw some guys out, and then have Reigns eliminate him. I thought that was going to be your thing. Imagine the heat for that.
Maybe Bryan gets eliminated by Miz.
That's the other thing. If he comes back, that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was never really settled, was it?
No. Miz is excellent at that, by the way, kind of keeping himself relevant. Now, he's not the best wrestler. He's a good enough talker and whatever. But in terms of, he does the media, he does everything that they ask him to do. He talks the way they want him to, and he does these promos, against Cena when Cena's not around. That's going to set him up for something down the road. It was great like this with Daniel Bryan. As soon as Daniel Bryan comes back, he's ready. He's right there. He knows what he's doing. This guy, he gets it.
Yeah, he's really gone on with the last year or so. I wasn't keen at first, but
yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm still not like a huge fan of his, but like I think he's one of the most aware wrestlers, one of the most self-aware. He knows what's going on.
Yeah,
he knows how to keep his job forever. He knows how to play the game.
And in the chat saying, so Chucks, would you say Miz is a solid B+ player?
Yeah, I think I would. That's exactly
All
where.
Right. Okay.
Never going to hit the top, but he's always there.
I mean, he was at the top for a brief moment.
I don't know that he was really. I wouldn't say that was really the top. I know he main evented WrestleMania and won, but he was the third guy in that whole thing. He was the third wheel. But then again, and another to back up my claim that he gets it. He knows his spot and he's great at keeping it. He's not challenging for the world title where he can't compete with guys that are that much better than him. He has made the IC title his thing. He talks about it like this is the belt that I make relevant. That's his goal, and he's always going to be around there. And he can. That's a spot that he can hold on to. He can be that guy for. Yeah,
it's a valid point.
Not overshooting. He gets it. He knows that he is the Miz.
And he's awesome.
He's B+. Solid.
On SmackDown side of the ball, which kind of transitions from all the Bryan talk and whatnot, pretty much a U.S. title tournament heavy episode where they completed the tournament on that SmackDown as opposed to the Rumble, which you would have to assume the Rumble has got to be like a 4-hour program, or at least.
Well, they did the semis, so we've still got the title match to come this week.
No, they
didn't.
Oh no, they didn't. That's true. The main event was the end.
Yeah.
And Rude won.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They really rushed through it.
Yeah.
It was announced that it wasn't going to be the Rumble. It was going to be next week.
Right.
And then they just didn't.
Then they just said, no, we'll do it this week.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about that. They did that last. That's because I fast forwarded through a lot of that main event. I really didn't need to see Jinder anymore.
Yeah, it's very odd how this has been like shuffled around now, because like I said, you know, it was originally on the card, then it was going to be on the go home, and now it was on this episode where they just kind of breezed through it. And I mean, hey, Bobby Roode's U.S. champ, great, congrats. But at the same time, I mean, it's a Canadian holding a United States title,
as opposed to an Indian holding the U.S.
who is also from Canada,
who was also Canadian. Yeah, right.
And Kevin Owens, when he had the United States title, was Canadian.
Yeah, foreigners seem to hold that thing more than Americans do.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's just a thing. I'm guessing it's to get those guys, all 4 of them, into the Rumble. Because at the moment we have 12 announced. We need 18 more. And a guy like Bobby Roode, Jinder, The New Day, all 3 of them. And who was the other one left? Mojo and Zack Ryder. Those guys kind of all have to be in, don't they?
Yeah.
I think maybe it was just to free up 2 of the bigger names, the bigger mid-card names to get into the Rumble.
Okay. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. And not much else happened on the show, from what I can tell. And then after... Let's see here. After SmackDown was the Mixed Match Challenge, the debut episode, which I did tune in for, Chucks. You were correct.
I had a feeling good. So what happened? What was it? Was it any good?
Well, I couldn't get it to work in Google Chrome, so I used Firefox, and they had
You should always.
They had Renee Young and Byron Saxton host it, and they had Corey Graves, Beth Phoenix, and Michael Cole for the call, which apparently Michael Cole can't survive being thrown into a group of security guards, but can easily do the Mixed Match Challenge the day after. So some people were kind of pointing that out. And it was only one match. I don't know why they had to do like a 30-minute build, or not a 30-minute build, but like, you know, a 10-15-minute build or whatever for this match, just to only have one of it.
I think that was always the plan, though, wasn't it? It's going to be one match every week.
Yeah,
Oh, is it something to do with the network? The network shows always start at half-hour intervals or something like that. So they couldn't just do a 10-minute match and then have 205 start at 10 part. Or like there was something about that.
I mean,
wait, no, was that on? No, I don't know. I've got no idea. Don't ask me.
The whole thing seems a bit rushed to me.
Yeah, that too. That too, because they had Bobby Roode and Brian and Shane, you know, all in the ring congratulating Roode on winning the title, and then Mixed Match Challenge starts up, and they were like trying to rush everybody out of the ring and get the tag teams out there.
At the end of the Mixed Match Challenge itself, you seen Balor and Banks were celebrating in the ring.
Yeah.
You could see the crew waiting on stage to run in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking, putting that in so close to 3 live shows, separate live shows.
Yeah, and not to mention the inside portion of the ring post, which they can't really change, still had the SmackDown colors up.
Mm.
Not to mention the ring ropes are also still blue, and
my problem with it is I was under the impression that Survivor Series was the one night a year where Raw and SmackDown superstars competed head to head, and apparently that turned out not to be true.
It's a lie.
Lied to.
Yeah.
Shocking.
This pro wrestling thing, man.
It's not on the up and up.
It's not on the level. Said it before, I'm sure say it again.
Your buddy Pete Rosenberg's been making the news.
Oh God, why?
he had a little bit of a spat with Kevin Owens.
Oh.
When
I hope Kevin Owens fucks him up.
something we haven't covered yet, but WWE signed Ricochet this week, and
Yes.
essentially Pete Rosenberg put out a bit of a tweet saying he didn't know who he was,
Oh, jeez.
wasn't familiar with his work, anything like that.
Eee.
Kevin Owens then said, "If my role for a certain company was to comment on things happening within said company, and they had just hired some really talented wrestlers, I'd probably find a few minutes to learn who they are, where they come from before talking about them."
Right, or at least just don't say anything.
That's
If
it.
you don't know something that you probably should know, you may get away with it if you don't say that you don't know it.
That's true. Yeah. Now, if somebody asks Rosenberg, like, what are your thoughts on Ricochet, then you could say, oh, well, I'm not familiar with his work and whatnot, but hopefully he can prove himself in NXT and make himself a great wrestler here. And
I understand he's very talented.
Right.
I hear lots of good things about him. Yeah.
But don't just spat out like that. You're,
By the way, I've got no idea. Just in case anyone was wondering, I don't know who Ricochet is. Doesn't work.
Yeah,
Unlike Ricochet,
leave
that
to
doesn't
me.
fly.
Leave that. Hey, leave that to me. Leave those comments to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin Owens is completely right.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, no, the Mixed Match Challenge, I mean, for what it was okay. The interactivity, I think, is the main selling point, which they had a TV set up backstage with Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn on computers, and then like not watching the TV at all, which was great. Yeah, other than that, it's a match that you can comment online while it's happening. Something you can easily integrate into the WWE network and not have on Facebook solely for the purpose of having it on Facebook. So that's my main gripe with it.
Speaking of you having gripes with things, I don't know. We haven't talked about it, but I have a feeling you would have seen the SmackDown women doing their handheld phone promos, announcing themselves for the Rumble. And I for some reason, I think you didn't like it.
No, I didn't, because it felt they were trying to pass it off as if it was something spontaneous.
But they were all doing it, all in exactly the same place.
Right. Yeah, that's the problem. And I saw somebody on Twitter say that, Mojo Rawley cut a badass promo on his phone like a couple weeks back, so now everybody has to do it. And I think that may be the case here.
Yeah.
And you'd be correct. I did not like it.
Yeah. Don't know why I thought that would be the case, but I guess so.
All right.
And I don't know that if I was going into the Rumble, I'm not sure that my threat to everyone is that 29 other superstars are going to feel the glow. It's just not very intimidating, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a very non-hostile sentence.
It really is. It sounds quite nice. It's like a New Day thing, right? The unicorns.
Yeah, true.
Feel the glow.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
That whole 29 superstars thing just really annoys me. If you come in late in the match, you haven't faced 29 superstars. You might have done 4.
I'm going to go in there. I'm going to throw 29 other superstars over the top rope. No one's ever done that. 30 of these things. No one does that.
I'm going to go and I'm going to throw. There's your promo.
That's the other promo I hate. I'm going to go out there. Don't say you're going to go out. Like, that's implied, right? That you're going to go out there. And what does leave it all in the ring mean? Leave what in the, like, are you Undertaker? He left it all in the ring.
Leaving all clothes in the ring. That's it. Alrighty, I think it's gonna be it, because like I said, not many news stories. TNA's still in business, obviously. In fact,
You just threw that one out there.
they're still going. In fact, they announced a partnership with Twitch. I think they're going to have like an always-on sort of gimmick on the Twitch channel, filled with all sorts of content that you could probably look up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they try and launch their own network type thing?
Yeah,
well?
there's still the Impact Wrestling Network, I think it's called.
So
something like that.
Okay.
Didn't they also have pizzas?
Yes, pizzas and last week mini golf. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that.
Is that called tournament? I wonder who wins.
Whoever wins just gets the company. Congrats, it's your problem now. Enjoy. But yeah, no. Yeah, they're still alive and kicking over there. Yeah, I don't have anything else unless you guys want to quickly mention anything before we get out of here.
No, I kind of thought we would have more to talk about going into these two huge shows, but I guess we'll have more next week than this week.
Is there anything you guys looking forward to with the Raw 25?
In general, really.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. We don't know exactly kind of what's gonna. It'd be nice to see Austin again. Hopefully, he can be a bit more like Austin of old and less of Austin, the cheerful Austin we've seen lately
from 316 Gimmick Street.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't listened to any of his shows for a long time, actually. But
they need to get him signed up for the network and do the podcast, the Stone Cold
podcast.
That
was so good.
It was.
Yeah.
I hope they, while he's there, they get him and just be like, "Hey, sign this." Just be like, "We got you now."
Didn't they actually advertise the Undertaker for that at one point?
I think so. Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
They advertised DX, although now Kevin Nash looks like he's out.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Yeah, it'd be cool to see Jericho, cool to see Austin, cool to see what Jeff Hardy does, presumably with Matt. But we don't know. I guess it's all going to be a bit nostalgia, so the whole thing's going to be fairly cool. Just seeing them all again.
And in the Manhattan Center, too.
Yeah, isn't like 1 hour of it going to be in the Manhattan Center and then...
Yeah, just like the old days.
Right, but then they're going to go to a normal arena for the rest.
The Barclays, I believe, yeah.
Oh, is it Barclays? What did Miz call it? The Blarkalark something.
I must have missed that. No, I didn't catch that. No.
You didn't see that? Oh, Cena really took the piss out of him for it.
Oh, MVP is going to be on Raw Monday.
Yeah, MVP is going to be there. That was the other thing.
Really? MVP is going to be on Raw?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow.
The other thing, when Kurt Angle came out and announced that Strowman was rehired, he said Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon hired you. I'm like, wow. Wow.
It is amazing how people can't say the things that you'd think would be the easiest. Like, you know what a McMahon is. That's like a word that we've said more than any other word in the last 30 years.
No
WWE, you would think, would be like muscle memory at this point, but WWE, there's been like a WWN at some point.
No morality, no morors.
No morors. WWU, I think we've had.
It is surprising though how often people can't say three letters.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, they suck as letters, though. I hate W's. I guess that's like my Vince thing. Vince just hates things that you think, what's going on here? I hate W's. It's too long. 3 syllables for 1 letter. NFL, nice and easy. NBA, even TNA, GFW, getting too long. WW, that's 7 syllables. World Wrestling Entertainment, that's probably 7. I'm not shortening anything. Volkswagen, 3. VW, 4. That's not shorter. Just saying.
Okay.
W's.
Minor syllable rant there. Okay. So that's going to be it for the show. Check us out on YouTube as you know, previous shows that we've done, of course. We're also on iTunes, IWC Radio on there. Give us 5 stars, positive likes, and all that if you can. We'll be back hopefully next week talking about the Royal Rumble, because that Raw 25 is going to be the go-home show to that. So that should be quite something. So hope you enjoy it. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you then. Have a great night.